Okay, welcome back to our series. This is Francis Online Tuition, powered by Odum Business Consult. Please spread the good news about the Ghana Online Education and learn more at www.ghanaonlineeducation.com. We are considering single entry and then the incomplete records. In our previous presentation, we considered the meaning of single entry and incomplete records, and then that of the reasons for single entry and incomplete records. But in this presentation, we are going to look at the disadvantages. Okay, the disadvantages of single entry and incomplete records. Okay, so the first one that we can talk of here is the preparation of final statement. The preparation of the financial statement is very difficult. So as we got to know in the previous presentation, we said that because the double entry principle is not adhered to, the information at the end of the day being obtained under the single entry principle is incomplete. So it makes the preparation of the financial statement, which is the profit and loss account, the balance sheet, and that of the cash flow statement, becomes very difficult because the information that we get at the end of the day is not complete. Okay, it's not enough that will facilitate or necessitate the preparation of the financial statement. So one of the disadvantages of single entry and incomplete records, here we can talk of the preparation of financial statement is very difficult. So because the double entry principle has been violated, the information that we get at the end of the day becomes incomplete. So we find it very difficult to present the final account under incomplete records. Okay, and the next one that we are going to consider here is the single entry system of bookkeeping is not accepted by government for tax purposes. Okay, so as you know, in every jurisdiction, businesses are mandated to file their tax at the end of the fiscal year. Okay, at the end of the accounting year, they are obliged to file for their tax returns. Okay, and for the government to know the actual profit, or because tax are being paid on the income of the business or the tax of the business, the profit of the business at the end of the day, the tax is being charged on the profit of the business. So if the business is not keeping records, which will help in preparation of final account, that will help in determining the actual profit for the period, then it will be very difficult for the government to know that what the business is paying in terms of tax is the actual tax that they are supposed to pay. So in order to avoid that, companies in every jurisdiction are prevented from keeping records under the single entry principle. Okay, so one of the disadvantages of single entry and incomplete records here has to do with the government of every nation, or government of every nation does not support the use of single entry, because at the end of the day, the information that to be obtained by these businesses cannot help them to present the final account that will show the actual profit for the period. So the government will not allow such businesses or companies to use the single entry principle. Okay, and the last but not the least that we are going to look here is lack of arithmetical accuracy of the double entry principle. Okay, so because the transactions are not recorded using the double entry principle, we cannot determine whether we've made mistakes in the books that we've recorded. Okay, because we've recorded only one aspect of the transaction. But under the double entry principle, if you record the transaction more than twice, It means at the end of the period, if there is a mistake in the books or in the recording, the trial balance that we draft will help us to know whether we've made some mistakes or not. Okay, so that's why at the end of every accounting year, the trial balance, the debit side and the credit side should be the same. It helps us to know whether we've made the right thing in terms of recording the transaction. But because here, under the single entry principle, we are not recording the transaction twice or more than twice, we are not able to know at the end of the period whether we've made mistakes in the recording in the books in terms of recording the transaction or not. Okay, because at the end of the day, we will not even get enough information to draft trial balance. Okay, so as a result of that, the arithmetic accuracy of the transaction or of the recording is not guaranteed. Okay, we cannot check whether is that or not. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages of single entry and incomplete records. So in examination, when you are asked to at least state and explain some of the disadvantage, these are some of the points that you can talk of. Okay, I hope you are good with it. If you don't understand anything, you can leave them in the comment section, or you can give me a message and I will be glad to attend to them. Thank you very much for being with me. See you in the upcoming series.